Povetkin versus Mariusz Wach. For those who don't know, the fight takes place tomorrow. Tomorrow being Wednesday, I believe. It's live on Box Nation and it kicks off quite early. I believe the coverage starts from about 1 PM, so most of us will be in at work. And this fight hopefully to come on somewhere between 5 and 7 PM. There's a few other big names on the bill. You've got Kudryasov, Olar Falabi, etc, etc. Sometimes you get these mega cards in Russia. Let's talk Povetkin versus Wach. Since his loss to Vladimir Klitschko, Povetkin has looked better and better and better. The run of opponents he's been on has been very impressive. He's taken out Manuel Char, a top 50 heavyweight. He's taken out Mike Perez, a top 10 heavyweight. And he's taken out Carlos Takam, a top 10 heavyweight. What's most impressive, however, isn't just the names he's taken out, it's the manner with which he's done it. Carlos Takam, Mike Perez, they're both very, very sturdy guys. I've been convinced both of them had exceptional chins, especially Mike Perez, who I thought had a world-class chin. Alexander Povetkin's got rid of these guys with single one-punch knockout power. He absolutely iced Manuel Char. He destroyed Mike Perez in one round. He finished Carlos Takam with a single punch. I mean, the guy's been hitting so hard. He's been on a real streak and he looks like he's come on a lot for the Klitschko fight and is putting in excellent performances. My question with Alexander Povetkin remains, with his size in the heavyweight division, is he a good enough boxer to negate the size of the top class heavyweights? You know, in the era of the Klitschkos, the Wilders, the Furies, where everyone's 6'7", 6'8", etc., is little Alexander Povetkin a good enough boxer to negate these guys' size and reach? Against Klitschko, for me, I was very disappointed by his lack of a plan B. You know, what he was doing wasn't working, but he continued to do it. He continued to fail doing it for the entire fight. At no stage did he switch up the game plan. At no stage did he try something different. You know, Carlos Takam, people forget that at the time of the stoppage, that fight was fairly even, and Carlos Takam was able to steal, you know, multiple rounds of Povetkin, let's say between 3 and 5 rounds of Povetkin, due to essentially boxing long. On each occasion, Char, Takam, Perez, Povetkin's power was enough to see him through. My question is, can he be outboxed at the elite level? Now, the performance he put in against Klitschko tells me he can be outboxed, and that's why I don't see it as a certainty for Povetkin to beat the likes of a Deontay Wilder. I don't fancy Povetkin in a rematch against Vladimir Klitschko. For me, he was not dynamic enough to get inside. You know, Klitschko was able to close him down too easily on the inside. And I know people didn't like Klitschko's tactics, but nevertheless they were effective. I think that Povetkin struggled with Klitschko's size. He struggled with being at the end of Klitschko's jab, which Klitschko was able to implement because he was the much larger man, with the much rangier individual. I think he struggled being leaned on and held by the bigger man in Vladimir Klitschko. Could the same problems arise with Mariusz Wach? I mean, Mariusz Wach is another giant. He's probably Vladimir Klitschko's size at least. He's a guy who's performed credibly. He's only got 1 loss on his record, which is, again, against Vladimir Klitschko. You know, the Povetkin loss and the Wach loss to Vladimir Klitschko aren't necessarily apart in terms of the scores. Klitschko pretty much 12-0 both guys. It's just that Klitschko was able to drop Povetkin on multiple occasions, whereas Mariusz Wach showed that he had one of the best chins out there. I guess the concern looking back on that fight is, as we now know, Mariusz Wach tested for steroids, and it's impossible to know how much of an effect that had on his performance, and whether the fact that presumably he's now drug-free could mean he's less of a fighter. I mean, I know it sounds ridiculous that coming off steroids means you've suddenly got a poor chin, but look at Larry Olibamawo. You know, he was on steroids, knocking everyone out, going on an undefeated streak. He's now lost something like a dozen on the bounce. You know, it happens to fighters. So, you know, Mariusz Wach potentially has the makeup to cause a fighter like Alexander Povetkin problems. He's a lot bigger, he's a lot taller, and he's a very durable guy. You'd assume he's not the kind of guy that Povetkin's going to be able to take out early with power. You know, Mariusz Wach took some bombs from Vladimir Klitschko and kept coming. So we're presuming that Povetkin's not simply going to be able to blast out Wach. My thoughts, however, is that I'm with Alexander Povetkin for the win here. You know, whilst Povetkin showed some boxing limitations against Klitschko and against the Cam to a lesser extent, let's not forget that he's an Olympic gold medalist. Let's not forget that his resume is second only to Vladimir Klitschko. You know, some of the names he's beaten, Chigayev, Huck, Hasim Ratman, Mike Perez, Carlos Takam. You know, he's beaten some of the real big names in the heavyweight division, and that's without me even looking it up. Mariusz Wach, he's a likeable guy, he's big, he's tough, he's strong, but for me he's one-paced. For me he's a bit of a plodder. For me he's a bit robotic. I don't see him necessarily having the speed. I don't see him having the awareness and the capability to close Povetkin down in the way Klitschko did. His jab isn't good enough, and for me, Povetkin's going to have more success against him. I'm not sure if I fancy Povetkin to win by stoppage or if I fancy him to win by points. I think there's too much uncertainty around Mariusz Wach because will his durability be affected now he's off the steroids? You know, it's hard to know. But one thing I am confident in is that I see Povetkin winning this fight. I don't see, you know, Wach's shown power in his career. I know he famously knocked out Christian Hammer with one punch, and he is the bigger man in this fight. But I don't see him having the power to take Povetkin out. You know, whilst Klitschko was able to hurt Povetkin, Povetkin showed excellent heart and toughness to stay in that fight and to last for 12 rounds. And I think Povetkin's the superior athlete and the superior fighter. I think I have too much for Mariusz Wach. Let me know your thoughts on this fight. How do you see it going? If you've enjoyed this video, I'd appreciate it if you give me the thumbs up. Many thanks.